listening to the smooth sounds of the world according to Jen and Carolyn. Aw, yeah. Again.
Hello.
We're doing back-to-back recording.
I love doing back-to-back.
Back-to-back is awesome. Ass to ass. No, that's inappropriate, you guys. That's although that can be considered art. That movie is a piece of art, right?
Requiem for a Dream.
The movie is
We
hardcore.
were drinking a wine last night called Requiem, and I started going, do-do, da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da.
Has Mario seen it?
No.
Oh, wow.
I was trying to tell him about it. He's like, why would you watch that? I'm like, that's like my kind of movie.
It was good, but it was very disturbing.
There's certain movies that stick with you.
Yeah.
That is one of them.
Yeah. No, I think about the old woman who got addicted to whatever it was she got addicted to. And it's just, yeah,
her diet pills.
Speed. Yeah. It's just very, like visceral and just like in your face the way it's filmed. And it's just like,
I went to go see that with my high school boyfriend's parents.
Oh shit. That's not cool.
They were there.
I would be so mortified. I'd be like, oh my God, this is too heavy to watch.
They were into all that stuff. Anyway,
cool. Art. I mean, we are talking about art, and I do think that movie is a form of art, but we're talking specifically about art as an act of protest and art and media in political movements. So we're exploring a force that shaped revolutions, shaken regimes, spoken louder than speeches. That's art and media. Mm-hmm. So from protest murals in Chile to Kendrick Lamar's Pulitzer winning rap about Black America. God damn it. I got it all out. I listened to so much Kendrick Lamar. I'm that crazy white woman. To viral TikToks calling out injustice, art is activism, and media, it is a megaphone, y'all. And the media give it and the media take it away, because we've seen some really crazy shit in the media. So, Carolyn, what's your favorite piece of resistance and or political art?
All right. Well, a lot of them are musical related.
That's fine.
So I would say I would go back to like what I loved as a kid.
Uh-huh.
So Sly and the Family Stone.
Oh, nice.
Woody Guthrie, Bob Dylan. It's a lot of musicians, but I really love Basquiat.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Because of the mental health side.
Oh, cool.
And I just think his art is cool.
His art is really cool. And he dated Madonna.
Yes.
Briefly. So I'm a huge Diego Rivera fan. Mm-hmm. A lot of his murals are actually here in San Francisco. And I'm a huge fan of, there's one called Man, Controller of the Universe, depicting Leon Trotsky, Frederick Engels, and Karl Marx, who's one of my favorites because I'm a big old socialist. So I'm also a huge fan of Immortal Technique's music. I love Kendrick, as I said. Immortal Technique, I had it on in my car. My kid was in the car and I was like, oh, I can't. This is too intense. Oh, no, it's... The problem with some older rap, which Immortal Technique is, a lot of his stuff came out during the Bush administration, is that he uses the bad F word a lot. Oh. And I don't like that. So hopefully Immortal Technique, if you're still making music, you're no longer using slurs against the gay community. Yeah. Anyway, we grow, right? The more we know, the more we grow, hopefully. Yep. So let's talk about art as resistance. So this goes way back, dude. During the civil rights, well, this isn't way back, but during the civil rights movement, unfortunately, it wasn't that long ago. No. Gospel and jazz were tools of unity and defiance. Nina Simone sang Mississippi Goddamn, not just to entertain, but to indict. Strange Fruit, made popular by Billie Holiday.
I love
that song.
I don't love that song.
It's a beautiful song, but it's sick. Yes. Yeah. It's about lynching in the South. Yes. Strange Fruit.
But that's what art does to you. It moves you in a way that,
And, I think art has to push you sometimes to look at the uglier aspects of humanity and our society. And that's what songs like Strange Fruit do. There was the Free Southern Theater. This was back in 1963. It lasted until 1978. It had performance in the Deep South, empowering Black communities through politically conscious drama. Emory Douglas was the Minister of Culture for the Black Panther Party and one of the most influential political artists of the 20th century. His work visually defined the Black Panther movement and made radical political ideas accessible to the public, especially to Black communities across America. So we had art in apartheid era South Africa. We had resistance theater there talking about the injustices of apartheid. We had posters, graffiti, performance became message that couldn't be silenced, even when the press was there. So more recently in Iran, anonymous street art criticized authoritarian crackdowns. And it's like the Banksy of Iran, I guess. In Ukraine, artists turned ruins into canvases for national resilience. Protests during the Black Lives Matter movement included powerful murals, digital portraits, public installations. They honored victims of injustice like George Floyd and Breonna Taylor. These things are powerful. They amplify messages of resistance, solidarity, Black empowerment. And more recently, Childish Gambino, whose music I really like.
Yeah, same.
He wrote something called This is America, a visually symbolic critique of gun violence, racial trauma, and the commodification of Black suffering in America. We all know All Right by Kendrick Lamar became the unofficial anthem for the BLM movement with the refrain, "We gonna be all right," chanted at protests nationwide. Beyonce's Formation. I was just listening to that this weekend. I absolutely love it. And that was... And that for the NFL, when she came out with a bunch of other women dressed as Panthers and did that song, I'm like, does everybody really know what this means?
Yeah.
Like, this is pretty hardcore for the NFL. It was awesome. And then again, this year with Kendrick and with Sam Jackson playing Uncle
minstrelly
Sam.
Uncle Sam.
Yeah, that was fucking dope. But I'm like,
it went over so many people's heads, though.
I think it did. Like, he's a smart guy.
Yeah.
And a lot of people just don't get it, or they're like, "Oh, rap, I don't like this."
Yeah. But you know what? It was like my mom was like, "I didn't understand." I was like, "Well, let's look it up."
Yeah.
I'm like, let's look some of this up. Like, see, and she's like, "I didn't understand what they were doing." And like, what were
She's also in her 80s.
Yeah. So, and then she was, I know. So it didn't resonate. Oh, we didn't like it. There wasn't a lot of dancing and music. I'm like, Mom, they're trying to be political.
It was all dancing and music, but it's just not what your mom's used to.
I know.
Yeah. It's not Ginger Rogers and Fred Astaire, Suzanne. I'm sorry.
Elvis.
Elvis, who stole a lot of Black music.
Yes. So, but she learns. You learn.
Yes. Your mom is very receptive to information. And
tries.
Yeah, she's sweet. So, political art and protest often is really good at evading censorship. There's a Chinese artist called Ai Weiwei, and this is so white, but when Bill and we celebrated our wedding anniversary a couple of years ago at this winery I think it was in Sonoma, actually, and they have all of these beautiful pieces of art. And they had something by Ai Weiwei there. They had like famous pieces of art. And Bill's like, "You know who that is?" I'm like, "Yeah, I learned about him in grad school." Like most white women.
Yes.
Or most white women learn about politically relevant art and activism happening in other countries. College.
He did the thing. He had a whole installation at the Alcatraz, though.
Oh,
and if I wasn't afraid to go there, I would have wanted to go see it. I was like, I ain't going there.
Why are you afraid of Alcatraz?
Because bad energy happened there.
Bad energy,
dude,
bro.
When we were kids, our brownie troop had to go spend the night there as a camp out.
Oh, no.
Like, tell me that isn't why I'm fucked up.
That's not cool.
I
remember, oh my God. No, I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to tell that story. Dude.
I want to hear
troop
that.
Trauma. No, I don't know if she ever did it, but a friend of mine went to this Buddhist college in Colorado. And I think she was raising money to take a trip to have a sleepover at Auschwitz.
No.
To meditate on pain and suffering or something. I'm like, yeah, I don't know about that,
I'm glad
man.
those places still exist for people.
Yes.
I don't need to. I would not want to do that.
Yeah.
I can't. That's too much.
No, I don't even want to go to Auschwitz.
No.
But
there's a movie that just came out with Karen Culkin that I loved.
Oh, was it him and his cousin?
No, Jesse Eisenberg.
But they're cousins in the movie.
Yes,
yeah.
Yes. And it's really good.
Okay, I gotta check it out.
Yeah.
But one of my Jewish friends said, if our ancestors had to go through that suffering, then we can bear witness. And I'm like, okay, yeah, there's something to that, but I don't have the fortitude. I'm too much of an empath. I don't have
I don't. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Did she go?
He went. I don't know if he went to Auschwitz. He went to Anne Frank's house. Okay. But when I did not go to Anne Frank's house when I was in Amsterdam. I passed it and people were like taking selfies and smiling in front of it. And it made me really angry.
I think there's a piece of that too. Like if anyone was being weird, disrespectful. Yeah. And then I would be like, don't be a Karen. Don't be a Karen.
Yeah. But it's a solemn place where something really tragic happened. Yeah. And I don't think taking selfies is appropriate. I would never take a picture I would take pictures maybe of things within the house, but something with me in it. No. I just, that's grotesque.
Yeah.
Anyway. Enough commentary on people's behavior. So, activists and artists bypass traditional media by sharing protest art on platforms like Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. And like we said, a lot of it goes over stupid people's heads. Mm-hmm. So it evades scrutiny and censorship and things of that nature because a lot of people are too stupid to even know what's being said or performed.
Yeah.
So thank God for the coastal liberal elite. So, an example, during the BLM protests, artists like at Shireen.creates, I don't know if I'm saying their name right, posted instantly shareable images honoring victims of police violence. It's awesome. In repressive environments, artists may camouflage political content in culturally accepted forms, such as fashion, dance, or humor. Yeah. And you often see people, what's really coming out is racism. Like they're pushing back these things, these mediums that I just mentioned, and they're trying not to be racist. And there's something that they just don't like about it. And I think it goes beyond like the blackness, the brownness, whatever it is that's on display and in your face. It's very strange.
Do you remember, I think this is probably when we were like teenagers, but when someone basically took a picture of the Holy Mother, Mary, and like put shit all over it. And that was the art.
No, I don't remember that.
Well, I think it was when I was it must have been when I was in Catholic school because it was like it was like a debate topic.
Oh,
and it's doing what it intended to do.
Yeah, you're talking about it. Like Sinead O'Connor ripping up a picture of the Pope on SNL. Yeah, that was dope, dude. Yeah.
You're like, Lauren Mike was like, cut it.
Yeah. I was like, that was amazing.
Cool.
Yeah. I know. And as a teenager watching that, because we were pretty young, I was like,
I don't know what this means, but this is
I'm drawn
intense.
to it.
Yeah, I know.
So, Carolyn, does creating or engaging with protest art, music, whatever the medium is, help individuals process and express experiences of oppression?
Oh, thank goodness it does.
Yeah.
There's absolutely a neuroscience of protest art and how creativity moves movements. Art and media don't just reflect political movements, they move us literally and neurologically. This is human potential and creativity at its core. Ever since a cave dweller, freaking stuck their hand up on a wall. It's a way of saying I exist.
Oh yeah.
And I am here.
Leave a mark on the world, bitch.
Yeah. And this connection between art and resistance is deeply rooted in human anthropology spanning thousands of years across diverse cultures.
Awesome.
This is what I think is fascinating. So if you look at indigenous and pre-Eurocentric foundations, long before Western protest concepts emerged, indigenous cultures used art as resistance, community building, and cultural preservation. So the Australian Aboriginal songlines encoded navigation and law while preserving culture during colonization. And Mesoamerican codices documented colonial abuses, creating counter narratives to the Spanish conquest accounts. West African, I'm going to mess this up, Adinkra symbols conveyed resistance messages and evolved into covert communication systems among enslaved populations in the Americas. And when colonial governments banned Pacific Northwest potlatch ceremonies between 1885 and 1951, everyone.
Wow.
Continuing these artistic traditions became direct resistance. Similarly, Polynesian Tatau Is that how you say
I think that's how you say it.
Maintain cultural identity despite colonial bans, recognizing art's power and sustaining indigenous resistance to assimilation.
Is that face tattoos? Is that what
I'm sure that's a piece of that.
Okay.
I'm sure that's a piece of that. And so neurological impacts, you have to think about always where I'm going to go with this in your brain first. Emotionally charged political art activates our amygdala. So if you think of your brain like a upside down triangle, amygdala is down at the bottom, right?
Yes.
And all that cares about is, am I safe? Your fight or flight.
Lizard brain.
Lizard brain. Exactly. So amygdala, anterior cingulate cortex, brain regions controlling emotional processing, empathy, conflict resolutions, unlike text-based information that activates the language centers of our brain, our visual and our auditory. Political art bypasses rational resistance, targeting the limbic system where feelings live and the emotional response. The fact that I could think of a piece of art and cry is proof of that empathy. And that, I'm sorry, is that it can shift someone out of apathy.
Yeah.
That's power.
That's why I love music so much.
Yes.
Visual art too, but music for me is the medium that moves me.
Have you ever just been in a shit mood and you put on a great song, or conversely been in a really angry mood and like, anyway,
some Slayer.
Yeah, exactly. So, healing through creation, right? So we got creating protest art helps externalize complex emotions such as anger, grief, rage, fear, hope, and resist verbal articulation. And trauma theorist Judith Herman notes every recovery from oppression involves constructing a narrative. That is 100% true. Protest art becomes that narrative, allowing people to author their own stories, take up space, and transform individual suffering into collective action. Yeah. So then you have a somatic experiences, which what you're talking about. Music and art engage your body, crucial for those experiencing systemic trauma. Bessel van der Kolk in the book, The Body Keeps the Score. Great book, kind of a hard read. I would recommend listening to that on tape. Trauma is stored somatically, which means it's in your body. And indigenous traditions recognize that millennia ago, healing ceremonies incorporate sand painting, chanting, stomping, all these things that we know now. What do you think fucking EMDR is? Yeah.
Tapping
shit. And like fucking drumming and shit. Yeah. It's weird that like when you go to a dance class or when you go out, like you feel good. Yeah. So you see that too, like dance appears in resistance. Hawaiian hula, particularly secretly banned. Hawaiian hula practice was secretly banned. African diaspora capoeira disguising martial arts as dance during slavery, drumming, chanting, singing. That is your autonomic nervous system, stimulating that vagus nerve to promote emotional regulation. So creating collective power is power. Yeah. Dr. Daisy Fancourt's research reveals that collective artistic experiences releases dopamine. Yay. Give me some of that dopamine. I'm a big old dopamine addict. Motivation. Oxytocin is bonding. So it creates solidarity at a biological level. Yeah. Indigenous cultures understand this. A group called the Sand People trance dance ceremonies. I apologize. Haudenosaunee, wampum belts as a visual political records all demonstrate art's neurological power in building collective identity. And protest art also creates a space for joy and humor and imagination. Radical acts under oppressive conditions. Tony Cade Bambara said the role of the artist is to make the revolution irresistible. Yeah. I love that. So took you from there's a very, very abridged version from prehistoric cave paintings to digital activism. Humans has been instinctively known that what science can now confirm. Art doesn't just reflect movements for justice. It creates neurological conditions necessary for collective action and healing. And that chill from a protest sign or tears from a chant, that is neuroactivism, which I love that term, right? Yeah. One of the most ancient and powerful tools for bringing people together and pushing movements forward.
I swear to God.
Hell yeah.
Like every protest that I've been going to, including the No Kings one that I went to in Sonoma, because we were in Sonoma this weekend. So I'm like, well, I'm going to go to the protest. Bill had to work. And they're all organized by these groups, or a lot of them are organized by these groups of like old white women. People, who are so wonderful and well-meaning. And, they were out there like against the Vietnam War. And I swear to God, they all have the same goddamn soundtrack. It's all like Bob Dylan and Fortunate Son. But
I'm such an old woman.
I know, but I love it. And it hits different. And oh my God, this one old person, I'm going to cry, like had us all singing, "This land is your land. This land is my land." And we were like all
Which was
singing
banned.
it together. Yeah, it was.
That was banned.
It was
at
too
a certain
inclusive.
time. Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, it moved me. And it was being in community.
And then you release
Collective resistance.
or you discharge, as they call it.
Discharge.
I hate that name.
I know. I don't like it
teacher
either.
was like, "You can discharge now." I'm like, "I don't want to."
Yeah, you make me feel like I got a dirty vagina. Discharge is not dirty. It is healthy.
My snail trails.
Little snail trail is good for you. Means it's working, everybody. Let's talk briefly about media as a weapon and a battlefield. Media is a battlefield. So it's both a sword and a shield in political movements, y'all. So traditional media sets the stage. Think of the Vietnam War and how televised brutality helped fuel anti-war protests. So fast forward to 2020, we saw George Floyd actually be murdered on camera. And Rodney King getting beaten almost to death when we were kids, that inspired an uprising. So I'm not calling it a riot because I think it's an oversimplification and distracts from the reasons why people took to the streets in the first place. If all you want to look at with what happened with Rodney King and right now is some people who are stealing because, I don't know, they're extremely poor and they're going to take advantage of a situation to get something that they've never had or need or whatever the case may be. Like, I'm not saying that it's right, but I'm saying I understand. I'm also saying that is not the majority of folks who are out there in the street. Yeah. So to pay attention to folks who, and there are some bad actors too. Don't get me wrong. There are people who just want to fuck shit up to fuck shit up. I mean, granted, I'm sure they have political motivations, but I never followed the black bloc when I went to protest because they just wanted to fuck shit up. Look, I don't believe in fucking up a working class person's car. I don't believe in fucking up a small business.
Poor Waymo.
Yeah, I know. I mean, Waymo is like the symbol of the oppressor. I like just this little self-driving car with like a happy little face, and it's like, fuck you, Waymo. I'm like, when did Waymo become the symbol of oppression? Like, I have no idea. At least we're not on camera since your face is bleeding. It's all right. It's stop picking at yourself. I know.
I do that.
We're not recording because we couldn't get the angles right because my husband isn't here to help, and I don't have any more friggin' storage on my phone, and I don't want to tell my husband because he's been up my ass about deleting old shit. I don't want to hear it, y'all. Mom is tired. Mom is fucking tired.
You are that person who has like 3,000 text messages, though. It drives me crazy.
I am, and I suck, but he is no better. And he has a lot of unread ones. So I love you, but also don't tell me what to do with my electronics. But we do share like an iCloud account or whatever. He's like, you're fucking things up. We have no more room. We have no more storage. So maybe there's something to his accusations. Anyway, so platforms like, we don't call it Twitter anymore, but I do.
I still do.
Yeah. Instagram. Oh, dude. This group took the Twitter bird that used to be on the building really close to my office out into the desert and did some sort of like art.
Oh, cool.
They blew it up.
Probably some like Palm Springs shit or something.
Who the fuck knows? But they blew this shit up, kind of like lighting the Burning Man on fire. They blew up the bird. It was pretty dope. I enjoyed it immensely, especially since...
Put a bird on it.
My dog is pushing her empty food bowl toward me and looking at me. Don't look at me. I'll feed you in a second. Everything needs something from me. Okay. So, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, they've actually allowed activists to control their own narrative and share footage. I really hate, and it happens like a lot with white women where they're like, Facebook isn't for this. Facebook is for sharing pictures of family and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no. Facebook has been used to foment revolutions. Like, don't tell me what Facebook is for. So, the phenomena of media silencing dissent and amplifying misinformation is complex and multifaceted, and it involves the intersection of politics, economics, media technology. The issue is particularly evident right now in this modern age of digital and social media, where the speed at which information spreads can either bolster truth or amplify falsehoods. We are definitely seeing that right now. And people have a really difficult time discerning between fact and fiction, or fact and alternative facts.
Or reality.
Yeah.
Now with AI here.
Well, deep fakes and shit. Like, we were watching that video of Willie Nelson. And you're like, is this Willie Nelson? I'm like, dude, I don't know. It could be a deep fake.
I know.
It's crazy. So
it's not just for dating.
No, apparently not. You can deep fake anything. So, we have all the media giveth and the media taketh away. So, it depends on who owns the media, right? Whose hands are the media concentrated within? Look at Rupert Murdoch and the bullshit that his networks spew. What's his face? Bezos owns, what is it? The Washington Post. I think he owns the Washington Post now.
They control the media.
Yeah. And wouldn't even permit an endorsement to happen during the last presidential race because he was afraid of Trump. He's a Trump ass kisser. So when somebody's a Trump loyalist, a Trump ass kisser, can you really believe the news that's coming out of that outlet? There's corporate bias and editorial choices made. You got to read Chomsky's 1988 book, Manufacturing Consent, which is all about this. Government influence and censorship. We don't see it to the extent that other countries do, though that might change.
Yeah,
but think about China, for instance, and think about the government overreach that puts a damper on the information you can and cannot receive. Social media algorithms, right? Look at what happened with the elections, the previous elections, and intervention or interference by bad actors in Russia or the government itself, which is a bad actor.
Yeah.
So there's amplification of misinformation, echo chambers and filter bubbles, clickbait and sensationalism, foreign interference, like I mentioned, Russian interference. Yeah. In the 2016 U.S. presidential election through social media platforms is the primary example that I can think of. Again, state-sponsored campaigns aim to divide populations, discredit the democratic process. The election was stolen.
It was.
No. Well, the last one. We're talking about Trump claiming that the 2020 election was stolen.
No, that wasn't.
We all know there was some shady shit going on the last election on Trump's part. But also there was just some good old-fashioned racism going on too.
Always.
So
and sexism.
What psychological strategies can help individuals recognize and resist media manipulation or censorship, Carolyn?
Well, hopefully by now we've raised your awareness or at least your curiosity that art isn't just aesthetic, right? It's neurological resistance. And being, right now you have, certainly speaking as a therapist, but I think all of us on these platforms have to look at things through a neurological lens and an anti-colonial feminist lens.
Yes.
And art is a powerful protest art specifically is a powerful tool that works directly on our nervous system to counter media manipulation and cultural censorship. When we encounter manipulative media, our nervous system responds in fight or flight. So, right, we've talked about that weird sense of doom we're all feeling. It's what Stephen Porges, who coined the term neuroception, and he's a polyvagal theory. I don't think he invented it, but wrote a book about it. Identifies sympathetic activation and dorsal vagal shutdown. And this is don't worry, I won't get too mathy or too sciencey.
Did you say methy?
Mathy. I'm so dumb right now.
Meth is art. No. Oh, dude, I love, there's a David Sedaris book. I think it's Me Talk Pretty Someday. It's one of my favorites, but he talks about going to art school and how him and his friends all got into meth. And they took a bunch of hair and made a nest in their living room. They called it art. Anyway, go on, please.
Well, they had a schizophrenic man go off his meds, and every day he was an artist, and each day he would draw a different portrait of himself. I think he chose to do this, and you just got to see. I remember in grad school we watched this. You got to see how his mind kind of created this art around how he saw himself. I know, very interesting. Anyway,
interesting.
So. Collective art experiences. Again, we talked about the indigenous ceremonial dancers to contemporary protest music and all the ways this activates our vagal pathways and our social engagement system and creates neuroception of safety and allows us to process information critically while remaining still connected to something. So it's not just symbolic resistance. It is literally rewiring our ability to think clearly under pressure. We're looking at something, but we're moved, but we're thinking, but we're not reading. Like it's this really wild thing that's happening in our brain. And colonial structures rely on disconnection from our bodies and from each other and from our critical faculties. Traditional media manipulation tactics are designed to trigger and activate a trauma-like response, actually a trauma response, and keep us regulated in states of either hyperarousal, so constantly outraged, that's us, or hyperarousal, numb and disengaged. That's me sometimes. So the arts provide powerful counter narratives by creating embodied collective experiences that strengthen nervous system regulation. Going at again, white girl in college.
Yeah.
My art history teacher. You came with me to the Legion of Honor. He was like, he was just such a cool teacher. He was all into like John Cage and like all this stuff. I learned so much cool stuff from him, but he's like, ladies, he's like, if you want to find a nice man, go to a museum. He's like, you will get into such great conversations. And he was like, just go. And for years, like that was like my like dark and broken thing. I'd like smoke a cigarette outside the Legion of Honor.
Smoke a clove and my dark eyeliner.
And then go stare at Monet. Like, so
Monet's
dark.
Like the least dark and broken artist. Go stare at Jackson Pollock or some, who's the guy that did all the like really dark shit of hell? Oh, God, it'll come to me.
Guernica? Picasso?
No, Guernica's like just war. I love that. Anyway, I'll think of it.
Yeah.
Oh, Hieronymus Bosch or some shit. It's like fucking people eating babies and shit. Like, it's dark.
I know which one you're talking about. Okay.
Yes.
So again, I recommend 3 neurological resistance practices.
Okay.
So here's your free therapy, everyone.
Sweet.
And I will do a TikTok post about this too. Embodied awareness. Notice where media consumption lands in your body. Tension, shallow breathing, racing heart. Those are all signals of being activated.
Yeah.
Participatory art, drumming, movement, signaling, singing helps re-regulate these responses.
Yeah.
Co-regulation through collective art. Create and experience art in community. This strengthens your ventral vagal tone, which you actually can strengthen, and makes you less susceptible to divide and conquer manipulation tactics in the media. Critical neuroception. Develop the ability to notice when media is attempting to hijack your nervous system. Art practice strengthens this capacity by creating alternative experiences of emotional processing. And again, I will always tell people, take a break if you need a break.
Yeah. I think that's important. Nowhere have I don't think I've been more happy than like going to the outdoor art like night markets in New Orleans. Because you're drinking, which makes me happy. You've got live music happening, coming at you from all directions. The air is warm. You're looking at art created by like everyday people. You can purchase said art. So there's commerce, there's alcohol, there's music, there's beauty. It's all the things that I really
and you're support. I know, for real. And you're meeting like cool people.
Yes.
Like you're meeting people who are quote counterculture. But it's like I want to buy someone's art.
Yes.
I want to buy something handmade. I want to support that person. And then I have something really unique.
Yeah. That's why I got rid of most of the generic stuff in my house.
The hotel art.
Yeah, the hotel art. I mean, I just replaced it with things that I find at thrift stores and unique things. Like I'm really proud. I bought like my first couple of pieces directly from local artists recently. And I love going on Etsy and supporting small business. And,
you feel good and you're connecting. Well, there's something to be said too that, before it became art, it was just paint or it was just medium. And then that person's truly their soul is in it.
Yeah.
Because their intention and their energy when they were doing it. Yeah. And you feel that.
Yeah.
Like you can't, something's, I don't know. I can feel it.
Yeah, it's cool. As part of this, I'm going to cut this video eventually. I went to my friend's art studio. It happens to be in Tanfran Mall, which was my childhood mall. But it's like a ghost town. It's like the mall in Dawn of the Dead.
Stores do they have?
Not many. But the art studio is amazing. It's this huge old retail space. And every Wednesday, he opens it up to anybody to come and do art for free.
That's cool.
And he took me, Mario Gutron is his name. I think Smirk One is his like art name. Oh my God, I should know this. Anyway, I'm going to post the video with him in it and a few other artists in it. And, one of the artists who was there, who comes every week to make art is a guy, he's a vet. And he makes art around raising awareness around how many vets die by suicide in this country every day. And it was just so like, I laughed, I cried, I had all these feelings going through this space and looking at all of these different pieces of art. There's so many different pieces of art being showcased by so many different artists. That it's just a feast for the senses. Yeah. It's really cool.
It's healthy for you.
It is really healthy. I came out of there.
You probably came out feeling high.
I did.
Because it's all that
great.
dopamine and oxytocin.
I told my husband I would be back in like 45 minutes. I was gone for like 2 hours. He's like, I thought you were murdered. I was like, quite the contrary. I was having a spiritual art experience. So, our final thought on this is art isn't a luxury. And media is never neutral, y'all. I think you know this. They're both tools of liberation or oppression. And in every movement that's ever mattered, the pen, the lens, and the paintbrush have been very much a part of that movement, marching right along with us. And that was evident this weekend.
Yes.
Some of those signs were beautiful.
Yeah.
People's shirts.
All those people were beautiful.
Yeah, totally.
You look at a Trump rally, same.
Yeah.
Same. Yep. Boring.
Right, totally. Look at my stupid red hat.
Yeah. You go to anything else, it's like color and vibrant. Like, I don't know. You want to live in that shit? Go for it. Stay far away from me.
Everybody's sad. So, that's pretty much what we want to say. Like, as dark as it is right now, there are beautiful things that are emerging from the darkness. You're always going to see that. Think about, some of the music we mentioned that came out of the Vietnam War era, that came out of the civil rights movement. And some of those pieces of art, whether they be music, visual art, whatever the case may be, stand as some of the strongest audio and visual representations of that movement. And that's fucking dope.
Yeah.
It sucks that all this fucked up shit is happening, but at least there's not only beautiful things coming out of it, but it could potentially change someone's heart and someone's mind.
That's the goal.
And bring them to our side.
Yes.
Come to the coastal liberal elitist side. We'll have more fun here. We'll read books and look at art and smoke globes outside of the Legion of Honor. It'll be
take
amazing.
you to City Lights.
We'll take you to City Lights. It'll be amazing.
We're such cliches. I love it.
It's great. It's great being us. All right, everybody. We hope you enjoyed this episode. As usual, our shameless ploy to get you to follow us. We are on TikTok at TwatJC. We have a small but mighty community of over 3,000.
33.
Yeah.
We hit like a weird, like a cool number.
33.
3,339.
Oh, sweet.
We just got 9
Are those
followers.
lucky numbers? I have no idea. But anyway, we're stoked that, for those of you who have joined the community, you've joined. We are happy to have other folks join our community, and because community matters. And we're making art on TikTok.
We
bitch.
are. I see your resistance, Jen.
Yeah. Honor it, bro. All right, everybody. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.